Hello, my name is Amina and I'm your decision making specialist. I'm noticing something about myself these days. Maybe you're noticing the same thing. And that is when I wake up in the morning, I don't start planning my day immediately. I wake up in the morning and I say that I appreciate that I'm alive and that I appreciate my husband is alive. And then whoever else, just their vision of them or their voice I hear or a thought. And I appreciate each of them. And it's not like I have a huge laundry list or a huge portfolio of appreciation. Some people have an appreciation journal. Some have a piece of paper or they'll add it to their phone notes, and I don't do that part. I don't know. Anyway, what I do is just when someone floats by my inside mind, I'll text them and tell them I was thinking about them. And throughout the day, I find I'm saying thank you more if my husband does something or even just walks by or as he goes out the door to do an errand. And I tell him that I love him and say thank you. And that's so important to me. I don't know about you or everyone else around. I'm realizing that when I hear the numbers of how many people have died, are in the hospital, have COVID, and the projected numbers of what could be the numbers, it is so huge that I realize I'm clasping my hands together now. I am so mindful of how rare our lives are. Yours too. So I'm offering today that when you think about it, when the feeling comes over you, maybe take an eyelash of a moment and tell someone that you're thinking about them. Say thank you. And if they say, well, for what? And you say, I don't know, just thank you. And for yourself, this could be a time, it doesn't have to be a special day or special month or anything like that. I'm offering any moment, any second you can appreciate that you're alive, that someone else is alive, that someone else has been, is in your life. Interesting, whenever somebody does something now, I've talked about before about my neighbor who has 2 Chihuahuas and they bark, and I know they were raised evolutionary wise as guard dogs and they do their job and they are yelping a lot. My neighbor doesn't seem to mind. And it used to drive me crazy. And I have been practicing when I hear the dogs bark. I still don't like it. It still interrupts my train of thought. However, when I can, and I keep practicing. I don't thank them for barking. I appreciate that I'm alive to hear them. Even if I still get frustrated, at least I'm alive to be frustrated. Maybe a little strange. And I say this day and in this era of COVID and unrest and uncertainty, that every time you can say something about appreciating being